Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? Everybody, do me a favor and hit the like button. If you would do me a favor, hit the like button. Who's in the crowd? Oh yeah, so you're welcome. You're welcome to support Trump. Perfect, perfect. Let me just get a couple things locked in here. There, that is. Got that. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Raddick is here. Lenny is here. Jody is here. What is going on? CC is here. Let's OTVO is here. What is going on? What is going on out there in the land of the unfree America? A couple things the dumpster fire said today that I just want to cover with you guys. And listen, if you guys don't know, anybody who wants to create 30 new prisons, hire 30,000 new cops, I'm not going to agree with that person. Energy independence, that sounds good. There's a few things that the dumpster fire wants to do, but his biggest agenda is to suck off the cops. That's his biggest agenda. As you guys see from the thumbnail on this particular and then we got Steve Conkler, Captain Team DLZ. What is going on? Volk is here. Terry Marine, Bad Mother is in here. Oh, it's going to be, well, let's see what happens. I'm going to give the dumpster fire a chance, but he's going to pardon Derek Chauvin is what I think is going to happen. And I think he's going to turn our country into an absolute war zone by bringing the SWAT teams into getting the illegals. He's going to get the illegals. And let's talk about this just for 1 second.
In complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing captivity war. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals.
Let's talk about that for a second. Provides sanctuary for dangerous criminals. Is that true? Is that true? And let me just ask you a question. If you commit a violent crime, what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to you? Drophead, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see everybody say welcome back, Drophead. So, I mean, you guys can put all you want. You guys can support Trump. You're welcome to put Trump 2024. Your political opinions welcome. You can say whatever you want. You're not going to get banned or kicked out of here for saying you support Trump. I support America. So, but let me ask the question here. Listen to this and tell me if this is true or not.
But provide sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals.
Does the United States provide sanctuary for dangerous criminals? Is that what happens? Is that what happens? Does the United States provide sanctuary for dangerous criminals? I don't think so. If you commit a dangerous crime, you're going to go to prison. You're going to go to jail. If you're an undocumented immigrant or illegal immigrant and you commit a crime, you're going to be put in an ICE detention center. There's no way to, do you know what I mean? There's just no way you're going to get away with being a violent or dangerous criminal in these United States of America.
From prisons and mental institutions, for abiding American citizens, but provide sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions.
Could other countries be sending us people from prisons and mental institutions? They sure could be.
that have illegally entered our country from all over the world.
People have illegally entered this country from every country in the world, not just Mexicans.
We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
Why is it just the people of North Carolina that have been treated so badly? I don't really understand why the people. I understand. Listen, our man on the street, Alan Hubbs, went down there. You guys all donated. We brought over $1,000 worth of supplies down there. But what was the failure? What was the failure? Was the failure illegal immigrants? Is that what the failure was? Or was the failure our government, FEMA? The failure was our government. I listen. We're just going to dissect him, and then we're going to go into some more cop stuff. I mean, it's just But I just want to talk about what our real problem is, because we're only going to watch a few minutes of this, and then I want to talk about our real problem is. What our real problem is, because it's not illegal immigrants.
And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we are watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now.
Okay, so was that because of illegal immigrants? Is that the reason why? Did the houses in California burn because of illegal immigrants? And his whole thing is that we should hate illegal immigrants, that we should put hundreds of billions of dollars into arresting and deporting illegal immigrants. And that simply is not our biggest problem. The chemicals that people are doing in our country are not just being brought over here by illegal immigrants. When I was in the dungeon, it was mostly black people in jail, and then followed by Mexicans, and then followed by white people. But the idea that our country is ruined from addiction by illegal immigrants is just patently false. It's just completely patently false.
They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly. My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
So wait a minute for just 1 second. When did America's decline begin? When did it begin? It began in 1971 when Richard Nixon declared war on drugs. That's when America's decline began. That's when America became an absolute prison state, death state. It's a police state. It's completely and utterly a police state, prison state, death state, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Why is he wearing makeup, Stomper? Is Trump wearing makeup? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm just confused by what you mean. What does that mean? I'm just a man wearing makeup. Who's wearing makeup? Is the dumpster fire wearing makeup? I'm not sure. I'm not wearing makeup. I mean, oh, the dumpster fire is wearing makeup? He has to wear makeup. He's on camera. He's going to get hit by thousands of lights. The lights are going to be on his face. He has to wear makeup or you can't see the outline of his eyes, his lips. You can't see what he looks like. And so I don't love Trump, but he's not wearing makeup because he wants to wear makeup. So yeah, he has to wear makeup to be on camera. You have to wear makeup. So what I'm trying to say is, Radek. So what I'm trying to say is, America has been on a decline. We have created a carceral state since 1971, since Terry versus Ohio in 1968, since the 1968 Omnibus Crime Bill, which included the 1968 Gun Control Act. The 1968 Gun Control Act made it so that you were a criminal if you had a firearm. That didn't change until 2008 in the case of Heller versus District of Columbia, Dick Heller. I mean, and Maddie, listen, I'm going to give Trump a chance, but his Trump sucking is his cop sucking is just unbelievable. I don't have TDS. I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, let me tell you what Trump derangement syndrome from my perspective is. Let me show you. And we're going to come right back to this. We're going to come right back to this. I'm going to timestamp this. This is a 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, let me show you what Trump derangement syndrome is. Here's what Trump derangement syndrome is. This to me is Trump derangement syndrome right there. The day before the inauguration, Trump pump and dumps the meme coin. That to me, and I talked to one of my buddies yesterday who's a big Trumper, and he was like, it's going to come back up. It's going to come back up. If you put money into Trump meme coin, to me, and you think that that's a good thing, I don't really understand that. I don't really understand how Trump derangement. I don't understand how I have Trump derangement syndrome if you put money into Trump's meme coin and it is his. It is his. Oh no, it's Trump's coin. That's Trump's meme coin, and you lost half of your money. To me, you have Trump derangement syndrome if you allowed this guy to steal your money and you still make excuses for him. From my perspective. I mean, am I wrong about that? I mean, I want to give Trump a chance. I want to make America the best country it can be. But to make America great again, what time are you talking about? Which time was that? You're talking about the 60s, maybe? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. He's supposed to, today's the day he's supposed to pardon Ross Ulbright, the creator of Silk Road, who is in prison and is in prison for life, serving 2 life terms when he didn't kill anybody. So to me, TDS is allowing this guy to take your money and then making excuses for the reason why he took your money. That to me is, let's see, what's the price of the Trump meme coin today? Hopefully it came back because a lot of people lost their money. Let me see images here. Let's see if we can find out. Let's see. Value. Trump meme coin. Is it going to come back? So Melania launched a meme coin. Trump president meme coin more than halved in value before steadily recovering on Sunday before the inauguration. So to me, that's the real problem, is the idea that Trump can steal all your money and you're just going to be okay with it. That to me is the real definition of
criminals,
Trump.
Many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina.
And then everybody cheers. We were at 5 minutes here.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on,
Give people back.
America
Give people back their. Listen to this. Then I'm going to show you something.
people back their faith, their wealth, betrayal, and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom.
Their freedom,
From
and indeed their freedom. At 5 minutes and 45 seconds, he said, "Give people back their freedom." Okay, okay. I want to give people back their freedom. So we are at 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Let me show you what that would entail. If we were going to give people back their freedom and say that you're free, we would overturn the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. What does Atwater versus City of Lago Vista say? It says right here, if any officer has probable cause to believe, not probable cause, not your Fourth Amendment standard, probable cause to believe that an individual has committed even a very minor criminal offense in his presence, he may, without violating the Fourth Amendment, arrest the offender. So that's the biggest impediment to freedom. That right there, that's the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. Right there. Listen, and Vegas Vips, you're welcome to say that, man. You guys are welcome to say it. You guys can support Trump all you want. Moderators, don't bounce anybody for being Trump supporters. You guys, I mean, half this country is going to support Trump. You're not my enemy. You're my friend. Do you agree, though, that if we're going to restore freedom in America, and indeed, he said, restore freedom, shouldn't we overturn the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista? I mean, wouldn't that be important a little bit? If a cop has probable cause to believe, not probable cause to believe that you crossed the street when the light wasn't green, that you went through a light when the light wasn't green. If an officer has probable cause to believe that an individual has committed even a very minor criminal offense, the traffic laws are criminal offenses. Remember, Gail Atwater in Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, why was she arrested? She was arrested right here. Gail Atwater was driving her truck in Lago Vista, Texas. Neither Atwater's children were sitting in the front seat wearing their seatbelts. So a traffic offense is a criminal offense. For my people who support Trump, you guys could support Trump. Go ahead, put it all through the comment. Trump, Trump, Trump. Go ahead. Moderators, do not ever time out anybody for supporting Trump. You are more than welcome to support Trump. Support him all the way. Do you or do you not believe that the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, where a cop can arrest you for even a very minor offense, do you or do you not understand that that is the biggest impediment to freedom? I'm just wondering for my friends who support Trump, because you guys know we're all about freedom in this country. I mean, see, so look, Vegas VIP and I totally disagree on Trump. And then he said, you gave First Amendment Protection Agency good advice. The troll is a manipulative and is not interested in an honest interview. We disagree on Trump. Where do we agree on? The points that we actually are boots on the ground where the rubber meets the road. When you get to the higher levels of government where Trump is, there's big sweeping changes that can happen. But the rubber meets the road in our individual lives as we interact with one another. So we don't, Artle went to jail for no reason. Artle is a staunch member of Team DLZ. Why is that? Because he's been cheated. He's been cheated. As usual, Let's OTVO, such a big supporter, man. So is Radek. Radek is in here. Drop another comment, Radek, so I can put your name up there. Thanks, man, for gifting out 10 memberships. Let's OTVO. Yeah, So Sheep Show said you can do both. You can support Trump and criticize his pro-cop, pro-government propaganda. I don't agree with any person on earth 100%. I agree with you, man. They're not going to affect Team DLZ. I'm not going to be a Trump supporter as long as he's the big copsucker that he is. Does that mean that you and I can't coexist together? We absolutely can. But he's bragging and talking about how he's going to restore freedom. Okay, well, if you're going to restore freedom, Trump, then get rid of the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. Create federal legislation that the only reason a cop can arrest you is if you have committed a gross misdemeanor or a felony where you have hurt another person, where you are a danger to yourself or society or both. Then you can be arrested. Otherwise, everything else should be a ticket and you get to go home. We're past that now. That should be that the cop should lose his job for saying we're past that now. He should be fired. He should be fired. If he says we're past that now, the cop should be fired. The cop should be fired. My internet cleared up. Amazing. Looks you can actually see my face again. Am I choppy? Can you guys see me okay? The internet cleared up. It's Chile for president. Right on, man. I mean, listen, if they tried to kill the dumpster fire, they would kill me if I actually got to a point where I could win the presidency. They would kill me in 2 seconds flat because they know as well as I do I would truly restore freedom, where people don't get arrested unless it's absolutely necessary. Where the only reason you get arrested, I don't think so. Perfectly harmless. I don't think so. So then you're for Atwater versus City of Lago Vista? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm just curious. I'm curious. You're for that? I mean, shouldn't Atwater versus City of Lago Vista be overturned?
Criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions, their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom.
Really? Then what about Atwater versus City of Lago Vista? I'm just wondering. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. I'm all for 2A freedom. I think open carry should be legal. I think concealed carry should be legal. If you're going to SHOOT, you can't say SHOOT. Do you know that? If you're going to end somebody, right? So if you're going to end somebody, then you're going to do it. Whether you can put that firearm under your jacket or wear it on your hip, you're going to do it. It's just so ridiculously stupid. Oh, Keith, that is not true, bro. Keith, that is not true. Keith, I'm not even going to put that up on. I'm not even going to put it up. It's Keith. It's true. I mean, people in the crowd can read it, but that's ridiculous. That is not true. That is not true at all. Keith said the lists of rapes and murders by criminals from other countries is well documented. In Sweden, not here. The majority of rapes and murders here are done by people who were born and raised right here in this country. The majority of people in the jails and prisons who commit murders and rapes, they are from here. They are from here. So that's propaganda and nonsense. It truly is nonsense. It's just nonsense. Drophead, everybody's glad you're back. Good to see you, man.
From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Well, if America's decline is over, let me correlate something with you guys. Let me correlate something with you guys. I mean, I agree with Eli the most right here so far. Republican and Democrats work for the Federal Reserve, not for the people. Americans just can't figure out that American politics is a two-party regime. It's the same exact regime. It's the same exact regime. There you are, Radek. I was looking for your comment. There's Radek. Thanks, Radek. I appreciate all your support, man. You're absolutely awesome. So let me run this back so I can remember what I was going to tell you here.
See, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Okay, well, that's just not true. Let me correlate something for you, and you guys let me know if it's true or false. I don't like to get into the politics of things, but remember, moderators, let people support Trump all they want. Please don't ever censor anybody for saying Trump, Trump, Trump. They can say what they want. I don't support someone who backs the blue. You're not on my team, brother. You're against me. So America's decline correlates directly with locking up our people. We have almost 1% of our entire population in jails and prisons. Almost 1% of the whole population. Those people fall behind, and when they get out, because they're branded a felon for life, they can't get a good job, they struggle, and so they go back to a life of crime and robbing and stealing. And so the more people that we have in prison, the worse our country's going to be, and our country's going to decline. Geez, Chile, so you're a commie too? I'm hardly a communist. I'm a capitalist. Please do me a favor. Go on my website, deletelaws.com, and buy my products. That's how I make money. Go to deletelaws.com and buy a trifold. I make a profit. Can you hear me okay? My thing just clicked a little bit. Oh, it just died. That was crazy. Oh, I see. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. 1 second. I see what happened. There we go. Am I back? Am I back okay? Can you hear me all right now? Can you hear me all right? So if I'm a communist that all means of production should be controlled by the government, I sell individual little products. Please, everybody, go to deletelaws.com and buy my product. That got scraped as I pulled it up. Go buy my products. That's the opposite of communism. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've rarely even had a job that pays me a wage or a commission. Very rarely in my lifetime. So then I that's the opposite of communism. So to say I'm a communist is just it's just ridiculous. It's just a way to discredit what I'm saying. Yeah, Rami. Rami said that's a communist trifold. I created a trifold to protect you from the government. Right here, Christopher Cole said, I was in torture cuffs for a stupid reason. As long as we allow police to put people in torture cuffs based on their suspicion, then our country is in decline. It creates a centralized government system that can do anything they want to you if they just say they're suspicious. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Put in the comment section, OTVO. So as long as Trump says these things he's saying, I'm going to make a video about him and say, no, it's not true. Because we have a few thousand people who are diehard Team DLZ that are all about overturning Terry versus Ohio. Our country's in decline. Yeah, we created a police state. Of course it's in decline.
Our liberties and our nation's
Oh, yes, you are, Lynn.
glorious destiny.
What are you talking about, Lynn? You're welcome here. Lynn is welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. You're welcome to support Trump all you want. There's nothing wrong with you, Lynn. I would say 6 out of 10 people voted for Trump who voted. Why would I say that you're not welcome here? That's crazy. That's crazy. What I want to talk about more specifically is Trump's trying to make America great again. Alaska audits, I was 13 years old in the back of a cop car, handcuffed for like 2 hours. That's not freedom, brother. That's not freedom. And Trump is talking about how he's going to bring back our freedom. He's going to take on the weaponized government system. The weaponized government system against who? Against the top 1%, the elitists, or against you, against Radek, against Schmickelwickel, against the Joker, against Claudette, against Jake. Okay? So, sheep show here. I make fun of the trifold because it's low-hanging fruit and so many thousands of people have them. And I'm simple-minded, but the truth is it's a great product because you have to have the literature on you and be able to defend yourself against the cop who says he's reasonably suspicious of you. He's reasonably suspicious of you. Bill Robards, yeah, I think yeah, I didn't vote for either one of them. So if people want to know what Ardo said here, I didn't vote for either one of them. I didn't vote for Trump, and I certainly wouldn't vote for Kamala. And Trump made an announcement today that we're going to end censorship in our country. That'd be nice.
Will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Okay, but the whole thing is that America is not great as far as freedom is concerned. I love America. I'm a patriot. I got the flag that was draped over my grandfather's coffin after he served in the Korean War. He's a decorated soldier. Every single one of my forefathers served in the military and fought and died, a lot of them in lots of wars throughout the history of our country. So I love America. I'm all for America. What I'm not for is the idea that we're the greatest, freest country in the world. And the reason that we're not is because of government policy created by the unelected Supreme Court. That's what we're facing. That's what we're facing. It's just, we're facing real tyrannical government, and he's pretending like we're not. He's pretending like we're not. Yeah, my grandfather was too. I mean, I have a huge flag that I'm going to hang in here. It's your dad too. My dad was in the Korean War. My dad was in World War II. My uncle Ray just died. He was in Vietnam. My uncle Larry just died. My uncle Ray was in World War II. My uncle Larry was in Vietnam, and he earned 2 Purple Hearts and was a prisoner of war. So to think that I don't love America is just silly. Someone called me a communist earlier. That's just ridiculously stupid. I'm a capitalist all the way. Thanks, Radaskow, for the PayPal. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. I see you in the crowd over here. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you guys' support. You know, it's welcome to the Club Trump. They've been taking our freedom and our lives since 1776. You know, Sheep Show, I haven't seen you in here a whole bunch. I think I've seen you once or twice. Radek was in the U.S. Army 2004 to 2008. Just crazy. I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you consider yourself an American patriot. Put a 1 in the chat if you consider yourself an American patriot. Put a 2 in the chat if you hate this country, right? That's what they always say. If you disagree with anything the government does or anything that Trump does or Biden does, then you hate America. It is so stupid. It's a bunch of, like Michael Eline says, put a bunch of 1s in there if you're an American patriot. I'm an American patriot. I love this country. I want to make this country the best country it can be. I want to restore freedom before Terry versus Ohio, before the 1968 Omnibus Crime Bill. Terry versus Ohio, the Omnibus Crime Bill were both passed in 1968. The war on drugs was passed in 1971. Since then, we've lived in a police state, prison state, death state. That you cannot resist police or they'll kill you. I mean, look how many people. Look how many people. You know, I mean, any guy who says that now listen to this. This gets worse right here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Randy put 1 and 2. I'm with you, Randy. I'm a patriot. I love this country, and I hate this government.
That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength.
Well, what about the fact that you can be arrested for any infraction of the law? What about 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista? What about that?
We will move with purpose and speed to bring back.
Move with purpose, move with speed, overturn Terry versus Ohio, overturn Graham versus Connor, overturn the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista.
Hope, prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
No, there can be no hope if you can be arrested based on one cop being suspicious of you. I only hope I don't go to jail today because the cop says he's suspicious of me. And that's what I'm talking about.
For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
Liberation means liberty. How could we have liberty if you're more likely to go to jail here than you are in China, in Iran, in Afghanistan, in Iraq? You're more likely to go to jail here than you are in Mexico. You're more likely to go to jail here than you are in North Korea. Restore liberation, restore liberty. And we don't have liberty if you can be kidnapped from the street, put in torture cuffs. And you guys saw the video yesterday where they said, don't tell him anything, don't answer any questions, just take him to the dungeon.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election
Roger.
in the history of our country.
No, it has not been so okay for my Trump supporting friends out there who are definitely against. Oh, Matt, and I already answered this. Go back to the beginning of the stream. I don't have Trump derangement syndrome at all whatsoever. I want to make America great. If you put money in Trump coin, you lost half your money and you're like, yeah, I got money in the Trump coin, then you have TDS. And he's welcome to say anything he wants about Trump. All Trump supporters are welcome here. The problem we're having is Trump's delusion about what America is. He says right here, so you're a Trump supporter. Answer this for me.
Great.
Answer this for me for the gentleman who said, I have TDS. I just want to see your answer to the question here. And I'll put your answer up on the screen too.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country.
Was that what happened the first 4 years? Was his first 4 years the greatest and most consequential election of 2016? Is that what he did for 4 years? I mean, I thought he was Operation Warp Speed. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Am I wrong? He is Operation Warp Speed, right? I mean, he is the guy that did that, right? Didn't today Joe Biden pardon Fauci? He did, right? I'm with you, Bill. I'm not going to. I don't support Trump. I'm just wondering. I mean, Levi Otis got arrested for nothing. He got arrested for nothing. I'm just wondering for the Trump supporters. I just want to know his first 4 years, was it the greatest and most consequential 4 years in U.S. history? I'm just wondering. Did he fill the swamp with swamp creatures? I'm just wondering.
As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and
listen, you support Trump all you want, Dale, but you liberals, I don't think anybody here is the most people on my channel are classic liberals or conservatives, but very few people are liberals how you define liberals. I'm for law and order. Put a one in the chat if you're for law and order. So I don't know what you're talking about when you say things like that. It's just silly. Good to see you, Julie.
Very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people. To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
Oh, just so you guys know, Martin Luther King Jr., when he was alive, was hated. He was hated by both the left and the right. He was absolutely hated. If you don't believe me, go online and research it. The fact that people celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. today, he was so hated during his time. He got so much shit. And listen, I'm not Martin Luther King Jr., but when I die, people will say, that's the guy who started the movement to overturn Terry versus Ohio. That's the guy who started the movement to overturn Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. And I think that more people will join the mission after I'm dead to overturn Terry versus Ohio. Yeah, Trump also tried to ban bump stocks. You don't have to hate anybody. I mean, you don't have to hate anybody. I'm not asking anybody to hate anybody else.
Returning to national unity.
We're not going to have national unity as long as this many people go to jail and prison, where we have these draconian sentences, where cops can say, we're past that now. You don't want to sign the ticket? I don't want to sign the ticket. Okay, put him in cuffs. I'll sign the ticket. We're past that now. Where they raid you with a crazy amount of cops and then put you in the car and say, "Don't tell him where he's going or what's going on."
Now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
Who's God? Listen, you guys know I believe in God. I've met God. I've talked to God. I'm not crazy. I haven't had a conversation with nobody that's there, but I've gone through some stuff and I believe in God. But we're not going to forget our God. But whose God are you talking about? You talking about the Christian God, the Muslim God, the Krishna God? Which God are you talking about? Because a lot of people have different gods. You can go to godchecker.org. Look how many gods there are. I'm just the idea that there's just one group of Chuck P. Oh, is that right? Your credit card, you must got a new credit card. He's been a member forever. The money God, the God of money. That's what Radek said. For the government.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense.
Okay, so listen to what he said. Listen to what he said, and then listen to what he says next. Listen to this. Now, I watched this already. I listened to this when I was getting a haircut today as well. Now, listen to this. Ready? We're going to restore democracy. We're going to restore freedom. He said both those things so far. Now, listen to this.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders where I am God. And that's what Trump's saying, that he is God, and he will decide by executive order how you will go. He will decide for you with executive order. I'm just reading some of your comments. Thanks, Radek. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Just got a haircut. Just got a haircut. Oh no, Dale. Listen, you're welcome. Like I said, man, I'll say it 50,000 times. You are welcome to support Trump, and I've asked the moderators, please don't ban or kick anybody out who supports Trump. You're more than welcome to support Trump all you want. I have nothing against you supporting Trump, but let me ask you a question. Do you support the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, where anything is arrestable based on the cop having probable cause to believe? Probable cause to believe. Tennessee Transparency said that if voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. We're not supposed to have a king. What's up, dude? You got some funny comments today. That's for sure. So he said, we have to respect our God. Then he said, today I signed a series of historical executive orders. So then you're God.
With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
It's not a national emergency. We just need to close the border to immigration for a while. Stop giving the services of the free medical, free dental, free housing, driver's license. Stop giving all of the benefits to people who are not here legally and let them see if they can do it on their own. Because listen, I'm sorry, did I say driver's license? You should be able to get a driver's license here if you're an undocumented or illegal immigrant, but you shouldn't be able to vote. You should be able to get a job here. If you have a driver's license, insurance, and registration, you should be able to drive a car. If you commit violent acts, you should be deported. But people who come here, and let me ask you guys this for the people who who are Trump supporters, and even if you're not a Trump supporter, if someone comes here and they have a job and they get a driver's license and they have registration and insurance and they pay taxes, why can't they be here? How does it hurt you or me? They have to get their own health insurance. I don't understand how that hurts anybody. That's all I'm saying is you guys are, like I said, and I'll say it 1,000 times, so people who support Trump think that I don't want you here. I absolutely do. Because where we agree is that we live in a police state, prison state, death state. And if you don't believe that, you're probably on the wrong channel. There's other channels that you'll like more, where they suck off the cops and they're like, all the cops are great. But that's just not this channel. Right, Gio? I mean, that's not this channel. I think I could do it, and I think I could do a better job than these guys because I understand what the people of America want. I don't want illegal immigration either, but I wouldn't spend billions and billions of dollars to deport them. I just wouldn't allow them to vote. And if they committed a violent act, I would deport them. But the idea that we're going to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to deport all these people is such a waste of time. He's going to say in a minute, we're going to stop, catch, and release. So that means you and I are going to create and fund supermax prisons all over this country. And I'm not for that at all. Well, they're all standing it. Yay, yay.
Legal entry.
Here's the part right here, 11 minutes, where I put 11 minutes in my notes. We're at 11 minutes and 13 seconds. Here's the part where this guy is so misguided. It is so ridiculously crazy. He is so misguided. I cannot believe what he says here. Knowing the police target this might not be bad. No, Isaac, it's going to be real bad. So, Isaac, when those prisons are emptied and we've gotten rid of all of the illegals, the prisons are going to be empty. And who are they going to fill those prisons with? You, me, with Taxi Slut. They're going to fill the prisons with you and me. Those people who are new cops, they're not going to want to stop and do something else, are they? Let's say we spend the next 4 years creating 30,000 new cops. After Trump, what happens to the new cops? When all the illegals are gone, what happens to the new cops? Do they just stop being cops? I mean, come on. Do they stop being cops? I'm just wondering. Do they go, hey, I've been a cop for 4 years. I've arrested, 3,000 illegal immigrants. Do they go, you know what? Now that Trump's out of office, I don't want to be a cop anymore. No. They have government contracts with the city, with the state, with the federal government, and they're going to continue to be cops. And who they got to arrest? They got to arrest somebody. You got 18 brand new supermax prisons. Well, those prisons got to be filled. What are we going to do? Just empty them? No. They're going to arrest you, bro.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
So just so you know, if you come here, doesn't make you a criminal. We have birthright citizenship in this country. That's part of our foundation, part of our Constitution. So I don't understand what he's talking about. You're not a criminal just because you're here without documentation, or you're an even illegal immigrant, depending how you want to word it. You're a criminal if you hurt another person. You're a criminal if you steal someone else's stuff. And those people, I'm with you. Deport them. But the people who come here, get a job, pay their health insurance, pay their car insurance, get a driver's license, and they get registration, what's wrong with them being here? They're not a suck on the community at all. What is a suck is taking whole hotels and turning it into illegal immigrant hotels where we're paying for their housing. There's people in this chat right now who their housing is not being paid for. That's an absolute fact, and you guys know it. That's the problem. That's the problem we're facing, is our money is going to fund people who came here illegally. That doesn't make them a criminal, though. Do you understand what I'm trying to get across here? You're not a criminal because you're here without documentation. That doesn't make you a criminal. But yet what we're going to do is we're going to criminalize those people. And that to me is it just sucks. Just sucks.
We will reinstate my remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release.
There, that's what I'm talking about. I will end the practice of catch and release. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. Let's talk about this, and this is the whole reason I showed this video, to build up to this part, and now we're 50 minutes into this. So let's talk about these 3 sentences right here. You ready?
Policy will reinstate my remain in Mexico policy.
Okay, so the fact that we don't want whole caravans of people coming through the border without documentation, I'm all for that. I 100% support that. We don't need to take an influx of new people. We already have 20 million people here who don't have paperwork. Of those 20 million people, a fraction of them are criminals. Less of them are criminals than the percentage of Americans who are here. More Americans commit crime by percentage than people who are here without documentation. But now listen to this right here. This is where it's going to cost you and me big, big. And those prisons are going to be filled with our brothers and sisters. Listen to this. Listen to this.
I will end the practice of catch and release.
I will end the practice of catch and release. Okay, that, you know what? Let's just say, for example, for my Trump supporters, let's say I'm all for it. Let's end the practice of catch and release. But what does that mean? For my Trump supporters, I'll wait. Put in the comment section what that means. What does it mean to end the practice of catch and release? What does it mean? I'm looking at the comments and I'm trying to decide. You guys tell me. I'm just wondering. What does ending the practice of catch and release means exactly? Hey, Pistol P Rex, I got your chat. I got your donation on my Cash App, dude. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. I won't stop. What does it mean? No, it doesn't mean deport. No. Someone else can tell him. That's what it means. If we end the practice of catch and release, what does that mean? SWE from Sweden got it correct. Ending the practice of catch and release means this. We hire 30,000 new cops to receive the illegal migrant. You have to have 30,000 new prison guards. To have 30,000 new prison guards, you have to have a brand new prison, because you can't mix the illegal immigrants with the regular population of Americans. What that means is you are funding a total, complete, authoritarian police state, prison state, death state. And then when those people are put in the dungeon, they don't have any rights. So what are the prison guards going to do to those people? Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. What does it mean if we're going to end the practice of that? There it is right there. Laura got it correct. It's a modern day trail of tears. We're going to hear stories after the dumpster fire gets out of office where they're going to say they stacked us up in prisons, had dogs. They took nightsticks and they stuck them up our backsides. We're going to hear it's going to be so horrifically bad. It's going to be so horrifically bad. Duwad, I don't care if illegal immigrants have gun rights. I don't care about that. What I really care about is just picking and choosing who gets gun rights and who doesn't. Because when you start to pick and choose, you get the 1911 Sullivan Act, which said what? They created a gun permit system for the citizens of New York, making sure blacks couldn't get guns. What did that permit system create in 1911? The modern day concealed carry permit today. You still have to get your permission from the president of the police bureau. And now what is it? Your sheriff's department. So for me to get a gun, a concealed carry license here in California, I have to apply to the LA Sheriff's Department. The LA Sheriff's Department is going to decide if I get a concealed carry license or not. If I want to go crazy and do a bunch of horrible things, am I going to sign up for a permit? Or am I going to take my firearms and just go out like Adam Lanza and start doing what crazy people do? That's what you'll do. So if you start picking and choosing who gets guns, then you're going to create a system that will be applied to you later. You're going to create a system that will be applied to you later. Do you see what I'm saying? Love you too, man. Love you too, brother. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate you guys' support. It means a lot to me. I mean, it really does. I'm not sure what that means, Sam. Dale Newhouse, I'm not sure. Is that somebody? So Duwad, in case nobody knows, Duwad's Second Amendment was violated. If you allow the government to infringe on this group of people's firearms, Duwad, they'll apply the exact same principles and metrics to you later. That's what they do. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. And by the way, are we able to stop the 3D printing of firearms? Is that a possibility to stop it? Is there a way to stop the 3D printing of firearms? No. No. Is Chevy here? Did I see Chevy? Douglas? Licenses are for commercial activity, not private conduct. Listen, if there's a movement for people to stop using a driver's license, let me know where it is, because I don't see it. I don't see that movement, and it's not my movement. My movement is to overturn Terry versus Ohio, overturn Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, take on the Supreme Court and change the Supreme Court. It's if the devil don't stop, 3D prints won't either. We can't stop it. And remember, everything he's saying as far as creating new laws, creating new cops, creating new prisons, it'll only be applied to them. Remember, those people over there, those people. Terry versus Ohio, detainment, pat you down, that was only for those people. Who are those people? Blacks. Now in 2025, let's make sure that they don't get gun rights. Those people over there. Make sure those people can't get a driver's license. Those people over there. But now what have they done? If you don't pay your child support, you lose your driver's license. If you owe the government back money, you lose your driver's license. Then you can't go to work, and then they target your car. You don't believe me? We have some friends who it's going through right now. Yeah, Terry versus Ohio is all of us. Remember, just let me explain it to you. Terry versus Ohio was only going to be applied to Black Panthers. Terry versus Ohio was created so that the cops could run up to Black Panthers outside of voting booths and detain them and pull them away from that voting booth. This is why Terry versus Ohio was created, for the Black Panther movement. Black men carrying guns. Who's it applied to today? You. Terry versus Ohio is applied to you. It's just incredible.
And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
And let me say for my Trump friends here, people who support Trump, I am all for securing our borders. I am all for making sure that tons of undocumented migrants don't come here while we are providing free housing, free medical, free dental, free driver's licenses, free food. If we have an incentive to come here and you get free food, free medical, free dental, free housing, then what are you talking about? Oh, really, Robert? Oh, really? How much time have you spent in jail for people who were arrested for having a firearm? Let me know when that happens, brother. Let me know when that happens. The Mulford Act. Interesting. The Mulford Act. The Mulford Act. Say it for those in the back, Chili. Everything that Trump is saying he's going to apply to new cops, new prisons, no more catch and release, that's going to apply to your brother, to your sister, to your cousin, to your mother. It's going to apply to you. Just when? Not if, when.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Right, because it's the cartels that create supply and demand. The people here want chemicals. The people here want chemicals. It's not the illegals or the foreigners who are making people here want COCAINE. That's not the Colombians doing that. If you want to go out and do an 8-ball, it's got nothing to do with the Colombians. It's got to do with you. And oh, by the way, last I checked, your boy Matt Gaetz, he was all about the X and the C. He was all about it. Read the report on him. He loved the X and the C. So did that come from the foreigners, from the illegal immigrants? The idea that we can blame our chemical problem, our addiction problem, wasn't it this? What's the name of the family? Was it the Sadler family? Which family was that? Family that created Oxy? Which one was it? It was Sackler. The Sackler family. Isn't the Sackler family a bunch of white people? And didn't the Sackler family use the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, to get their Oxycontin approved? And didn't they create a gigantic system through the pharmaceutical agencies to then incentivize doctors to prescribe Oxycontin to their patients? Aren't the Sacklers pasty white? The Sacklers, I'm kind of brown. I'm pretty white. The Sacklers are this color. That's how white the Sackler family is. They're pretty white. They're pretty white, bro. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here we go. Let's take a look. Just because we're having a good time here. And thanks for the conversation. Remember, you can support Trump. You're welcome here all day long, every day. Because when the police state, prison state, death state comes upon you, oh, dude, there. Okay, here. I'm going to show you a picture of the Sackler family. There they are. So we're at 12 minutes and 10 seconds on the dumpster fire speech. Here's the Sackler family. There they are. Is that a white gray-haired dude? Isn't that the guy who got he got 11 years in prison, of which he'll do 4? This is the biggest drug peddler in American history right here. He got 11 years in prison. I mean, Don got it. The Sacklers are the pharmaceutical friendly realm of drug pushers. This guy created millions of drug addictions in America. And he is white as white can be. If you saw him walking down the road, that's a gray hair white guy. I'm just saying. Sackler addicted more people on opium than the CIA and the FBI. I mean, I'm not going to promote your hatred for Jews, bro. I come from Jewish descent. I got no hatred for Jews. I hate Benjamin Netanyahu. I hate the Israeli government. I don't hate Jewish people. It's got nothing to do with it. Chevy, where you at, Chevy? Cope doggy dog, where you at, Cope? Hopefully you guys are busy. You can't be here.
Criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegal the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
So let me ask you guys a question, and can you guys give me a vote here in the crowd here? Can you give me a vote real quick? There's 450 people here across the 6 channels. Can you guys give me a vote? Okay, let me ask you a question. Does the addiction and chemical problem in America come from foreign governments, or is it an American problem? Because we are the biggest consumers of drugs in the world. I just want to know, does the addiction in our country, is the problem of addiction coming from Mexico, Venezuela, Colombia? Or put a 1 in the chat if it is from Americans wanting to do drugs. Put a 2 in the chat if it's from foreign countries. Put a 1 in the chat if it's an American problem. Put a 2 in the chat if you can clearly blame Venezuela for our drug problem, for Colombia, for Peru. I'm just wondering, put a 1 in the chat if it's an American problem. If Americans are the reason. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's China, if you think it's Colombia, if you think it's Mexico. It's a 1 for me. It's an American thing. We want the drugs. People are waiting to do the drugs. Every time you see a drug bust happen, just remember, you're ruining people's lives because the next house over, the next trailer over, the next big rig over, the next shipment over is coming in, and you're going to be able to get your fentanyl wherever you want. Oh, so Beowulf, but who's the one dealing it? So you're telling me that all fentanyl comes from China and Mexico? That simply is not true. That is not true. That is you drinking the. Oh, is that King Charles? What's going on? What's going on? Did I see King Braveheart in here? I'm so sorry. I saw King Braveheart and I didn't put his comments up on the screen. Jesse said the United States pushed opium into China in the 19th century. Wake up. We are the druggies of the world. I agree with you, dude. So just so you know, it was after the 1882 Chinese Exclusionary Act was passed, and I don't want to mess up historical facts here. But then when trade was shut down between, I want to make sure I have it exactly correct. But this is 100% true, Jesse, is that when China refused to export opium to us, we told them, if you didn't give us the opium, we're going to go to war with you. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm reading this. Oh, Mountain Mover, I haven't put one of your comments up yet, but let me know what you're trying to say here. I've seen a few of your comments, Mountain Mover, but I haven't got them on screen yet. I want to put you a couple of your comments up on the screen. Yeah, I saw a video the other day that after we took over Afghanistan, the number one export became opium. And so it's really, really crazy. It's really, really crazy. It's 100% cracked. Correct. Crack. Eating bread can cause a violation of probation. We live in a prison state, police state, and everything he's saying has nothing to do with changing the police state, prison state, death state.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense.
What did he say here?
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
The Aliens Enemies Act.
Invoking the Alien Enemies Act.
The Alien Enemies Act. It popped right up. Under this law, the president could authorize the arrest, relocation, and deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. It also provided legal protections for those subject to the law. Is that what you want? 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 I mean, is a powerful rich coal inside of American and the beneficiary of any illegal drugs, they make the laws as well. I totally agree with you, man. The politicians are making the most money. I mean, that is crazy. So you want to give all the power under this law, the president could authorize the arrest, relocation, and deportation of any male, not female. So remember, men, if you got an Audi instead of an innie, this is against you. It's against men, not women. It's against men. So then what are you going to do if you're a man? You're going to give the chemicals to the woman. Under this law, the president can authorize the arrest, relocation, or deportation of any man over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. A foreign enemy country. How do you define what an enemy country is? According to the dumpster fire, France is an enemy country. It also provided some legal protections for those who The Alien Enemies Act explained. So let's get into this. Let me take my mug off the screen so you guys can see what I'm reading here. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool, Douglas. Listen, I mean, yeah, that's right. Remember under Obama, the Guantanamo Bay, how he was going to shut it down? And what they do? What did they do? And Lawyer Dog said that seems like a violation and discrimination. You meant and discrimination. It's discriminatory against men. So if you guys don't mind, let's take a look at what exactly the Alien Enemies Act is. I do remember it so well, BZ Watchdog. I remember it so well. So let's get into exactly what this is here. The Aliens Enemy Act of 1798 is a wartime authority that allows the president to detain or deport natives and citizens of an enemy nation. Native Americans. Deport them where? Where are you going to deport Native Americans to? The law permits the president to target these immigrants without a hearing and based only on country of birth or citizenship. Is that what you want? I mean, is that what you want? The law permits the president to target immigrants without a hearing and based only on the country of birth or citizenship. That's what the Alien Enemies Act actually does. That's insane. That's insane. Trying to get this just right. There we go. Although the law was enacted to prevent foreign espionage and sabotage in wartime, it can be and has been wielded against immigrants who've done nothing wrong, have evinced no signs of disloyalty, and a lawful presence in the United States. It's an overbroad authority that may violate constitutional rights in wartime and is subject to abuse in peacetime. We're not at war. Has the Alien Enemies Act been used in the past? The Alien Enemies Act has been invoked 3 times. Each time during a major conflict in the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. In World War I and World War II, the law was a key authority behind detentions, expulsions, and restrictions targeting German, Austro-Hungarians, Japanese, and Italian immigrants based solely on their ancestry. Wow. Is that what you guys want? You guys want the dumpster fire to be able to decide that you're a bad person because you come from Iraq, because you come from... He could just say it's an enemy combatant. He could just say it. All he has to do is say it. Good to see you, King Braveheart. The law is best known for its role in Japanese internment, a shameful part of U.S. history for which Congress, presidents, and the courts have apologized. Under what conditions can the president invoke the Alien Enemies Act? So what? I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Did you know that today, that when Trump was making that speech where he says he's going to re-invoke the Alien Enemies Act, did you know that he was saying, I'm going to take all the power for myself? I'm going to empower myself? I didn't really understand that. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that at all. I didn't realize that the Alien Enemies Act is just up to the president. So what he said is, I'm going to invoke an act that gives me absolute power and makes me God. Dan Hanlon did. He said he knew it. I didn't know it, Dan Hanlon. I mean, what do you guys think? You think this is good? Take care, Let's Go TVO. Thanks for coming. The president may invoke the Alien Enemies Act in times of declared war, we're always in wars, or when the foreign government threatens to undertake an invasion or predatory incursion. So that means any caravan of migrants who are going to come in here undocumented and illegally, he can say, we have an invasion. All he has to do is say it's an invasion. Words matter. The Constitution gives Congress, not the president, the power to declare war. So the president must wait for the democratic debate and a congressional vote to invoke the Alien Enemies Act based on a declared war. But The president need not wait for Congress to invoke the law based on a threatened or ongoing invasion or predatory incursion. What does a predatory incursion mean? What does it mean? What does a predatory incursion mean? What does anybody know what that means? We're going to look up predatory incursion. Let me just see here real quick. I'm going to open another page over here. Predatory incursion. A predatory incursion is a hostile act or invasion in a place or territory, especially one that is sudden. The Rage War is a one book by Tim Levin. Okay, let me keep going on this over here. The president has inherent authority to repeal these kinds of sudden attacks, an authority that necessarily implies the discretion to decide when an invasion or predatory incursion is underway.
A law that forced thousands of people into U.S. internment camps in World War II is still on the books, and some politicians want to use it again today to deport immigrants. I'm Catherine Ebright, a lawyer at the Brennan Center, and I just published a report on the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. This is one of the laws the U.S. used in World War II to detain more than 135,000 U.S. citizens and immigrants of Japanese, German, and Italian descent. Internment was shameful, and both Congress and past presidents have apologized for it. But the Alien Enemies Act was never repealed, and now some politicians are threatening to use the law for mass deportations targeting immigrants from Mexico and potentially other Latino immigrants. Using the Alien Enemies Act is extreme and inappropriate, even in wartime. The law allows the president to detain and deport non-citizens without a trial, and they can be targeted based only on their ancestry. That threatens the constitutional rights to receive a fair legal process and to be free from discrimination. Now imagine using the Alien Enemies Act in peacetime. That'd be a staggering abuse of the law, but the law's breadth and lack of protections have made it attractive to politicians promising, quote, the largest deportation operation in U.S. history. The law can even be used against asylum seekers and those who came to the United States legally. This is a serious threat, especially because the courts may not step in to stop abuses of the law. The courts don't like second-guessing the president's use of wartime authorities, like the Alien Enemies Act. And that's why we need Congress to be proactive and get rid of this outdated and dangerous law. We can't repeat the shameful mistakes of our past.
No, I agree. The idea that we would empower one person to decide. Okay, and so what was I talking about a second ago? Due to the terms invasion and predatory incursion have been taken literally, so the president can proclaim a rhetorical invasion. As the Supreme Court and past presidents acknowledge, the Alien Enemies Act is a wartime authority enacted and implemented under the War Powers. When the Fifth Congress passed the law and the Wilson administration defended it in court during World War I, they did so on the understanding that non-citizens with connections to a foreign belligerent could be treated as prisoners of war. Holy shit! Holy shit! Under the rules of war, under the laws of nation, in the Constitution and other late 1800 statutes, the term invasion is used literally. Typically refers to large-scale attack. The term predatory incursion is also used literally in writings of that period to refer to a slightly smaller attacks like the 1781 raid on Richmond led by American defector Benedict Arnold. You ever heard of that before? Someone says you're a Benedict Arnold. Benedict Arnold did a raid on Richmond in 1781. I need to research more about that. Today, some anti-immigration politicians and groups urge a non-literal reading of the invasion and predatory incursion, so that the Alien Enemies Act can be invoked in response to unlawful migration and cross-border narcotics trafficking. These political groups and views the Alien Enemies Act as a turbocharged deportation authority, but their proposed reading of the law is at odds with centuries of legislative, presidential, and judicial practice, all of which confirm that the Alien Enemies Act is a wartime authority. Invoking it in peacetime to bypass conventional immigration laws would be a staggering abuse. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I'm just trying to figure out, is that what you want? That seems pretty weird to me. Well, I mean that's what I'm saying, Brandy. Brandy said I've worked as a cashier at a grocery store, and immigrants who worked on farms came in regularly to buy foods, paper products, cleaning, etc., and spent over $300 with buggies full. So then, what's wrong with that? I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Abo said, I think Trump is not a killer of any innocent person intentionally. His character shows God fearing mostly. He will use the law wisely. He might even enhance the law to prevent the use of it by the government. Interesting perspective. I didn't see your comment, Michael. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. I'm just so confused. And then Brandy went on to say they pay taxes. So if you come here and you don't rely on a government subsidy for housing, a government subsidy for health insurance, a government subsidy for car insurance, then why can't you be here? Why can't you be here? You are not a criminal. If you may be undocumented, you may be an illegal alien, and that's fine. You can use the term illegal alien. But if they're paying taxes, if they're paying health insurance, if they're paying auto insurance, if they have a license and they have registration, they can't vote, they don't get free housing, they don't get free medical, why can't they be here? Oh, Abba, where are you from? What country are you from? I would like to know where you're from. And then record tyranny says Trump loves the uneducated. Good to see you, April. Good to see you, April. I mean, I think the Alien Enemies Act to give one man the power to deport people. I just don't see it. Yeah, thanks, Sabo. I really appreciate the super chat, man. Thanks a lot. I get by with little help from my friends. Woo. Okay, so we know what that is now.
Criminals, many from prisons, and enrich our citizens.
And now he's going to talk about enriching our citizens, which is
to buy the car of your choice. This is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Now, if you declare them foreign terrorists and you say that they're part of our cartel, then you can use the Aliens Enemies Act and you can just swoop up everybody and say, no, they're foreign terrorists. The government has labeled them foreign terrorists. Now, using the National Defense Authorization Act enacted by George Bush in 2001, 2002, now Trump's going to be able to take the Alien Enemies Act and say that these are foreign terrorists because they're in a cartel. But where are you going to get your drugs from? You're going to get your drugs from the American on your block. It's just such a load of shit. Americans are going to get drugs.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Just so you know, most of the dangerous crime in America comes from Americans.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
That's communism. When the goods and products and the prices of those goods and products is controlled by the state, that's the definition of communism. So for all of my capitalistic friends like me, I'm a capitalist, go to my website, deletelaws.com, and buy my products. I sell my products on deletelaws.com. Go buy my products that's not controlled by the government. My pricing isn't controlled by the government. My pricing isn't controlled by the state. My products are not shipped by the government or the state. They're shipped by me. Do you see what I'm saying? What he just described literally is the definition of communism. And if you need me to pull it up on the screen,
and what I defend our country
listen
as
to this.
commander-in-chief.
As commander-in-chief, what's he going to do?
If I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is
So that he's saying the Alien Enemies Act that he's going to try to invoke.
exactly what I am going to do.
Okay, so now you're going to brand them terrorists. You're going to brand cartels. And who's in the cartel? Whoever he says is in the cartel.
We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before.
And you will pay for it. And later in life, your sons and daughters will live in those prisons because they have to fill them.
Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to
all members of my cabinet, government control,
marshal the vast powers at their disposal
to use the power of the government
to defeat what was record inflation and
to defeat what was record inflation. Where does the record inflation come from? It comes from the Federal Reserve. So is he going to say that he's going to, oh no, Maddie, I'm with you 100%. I don't want drug cartels here, but those drugs are coming from, the Americans are doing it, Maddie. Am I wrong about that? Am I wrong about it? But now listen to this. He's going to take the vast power of government officials, and what's he going to do? He's going to take on inflation, but the inflation comes from the Federal Reserve. It doesn't come from the stores. Oh, I know that. So listen to me. This is what I've been trying to say the whole time. Sir, this is McDonald's. Chile, you're missing the point. He's going to give himself the power to deport U.S. citizens. That means people who were born here and their parents came here illegally, there's still birthright citizenship in this country. That's what he's going to do. And then right underneath that comment, Gio said, he's going to fall in line. And this to me is the scariest part, that he's not saying it's the Federal Reserve who's creating inflation. He's saying he's going to control stores.
Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
I am so sorry. So we're at 1322. What's it called when the government controls prices? When the government controls prices, it's called price controls. Price controls are laws. What else did he say here?
Criminals, many from prisons, and will not happen. In other words, you'll be able to record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices.
Okay, so we're at 1322. It's called price control. That means the government set maximum prices that can be charged for goods and services. Maximum prices. Key points about price controls. Government implements price controls to make essentials goods more affordable for consumers, especially during times of shortages. Price ceiling, price floor, potential negative effects, shortages, reduced quality, black markets. Price controls are government-mandated minimum maximum prices set for specific goods and services. Price controls are put in place to manage the affordability of goods and services. What's it called when government? Let me see. In Marxism, when the government controls costs and prices, it is essentially considered a characteristic of planned economy, often associated with a communist system where the state directly manages production and distribution, effectively replacing the free market with centralized control over prices and resources allocation. This is even seen as a way to achieve economic equality by eliminating the profit motive and allowing the government to set prices based on need rather than supply and demand. What do you guys think of that? What do the Trump supporters think of that? It says it right there. It says it right there. I'm not a liberal, bro. They won't have me. I'm all for open carry, concealed carry, Second Amendment. I'm for America 100% first. I'm for, if we're going to provide free healthcare for people, it should be Americans, not people who came here illegally. The liberals won't have me, dude. They won't take me. So they won't have me. That's all I'm saying. Oh, is that right? Is that right? Sup, dude? Yeah, there's so many bots. It's unbelievable. So just read this again. When you control the price and the control, when the government controls costs and prices, it is essentially considered a characteristic of a planned economy, often associated with a communist system where the state directly manages production and distribution, effectively replacing the free market with centralized control over pricing and resources allocation. This is often seen as a way to achieve economic equality by eliminating the profit motive and allowing the government to set prices based on need rather than supply and demand. There it is right there. You just
criminals,
saw it yourself.
many is that
And they all applaud for it.
inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices. And that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
No, Mark, that's exactly what he just said. Oh, also, I'm for drill, baby, drill. So all the people who think I'm a liberal, communist, the things you're saying, I'm for drill, baby, drill. I'm all for drill, baby, drill. 100%. I'm all for it. 100%. I'm from Alaska, where our economy is based on work available in the oil industry. I'm for drilling oil. 100%. So I guess that takes away my liberal communism part, doesn't it? That's all I'm saying. Abo says by control, he means fixes naturally drive the prices down as per free market. Don't take his words literally, my friend. Be easy on him. So do the Saudi Arabians support Trump, or do they not support Trump over there? Listen, Steve, I'm going to give him 6 months. And Steve, remember, moderators do not block any Trump people. I support Trump people. My family is Trump people. My friends are Trump people. My family and friends are also Kamala people. I'm a fierce independent. So I completely support you and your support for Trump if that's what you want to do. The 3 major oil companies said they're drilling. All their drilling. I'm for drilling. I'm for drilling. I'm 100% for drilling. I want more oil production out of our country. So I guess that kind of takes away the whole I'm a communist and I'm a liberal, and I just want to clearly point out that the world is not black and white. It's shades of gray. And to my friend who just said that about Trump, I'm going to give Trump a chance. If he pardons Derek Chauvin from murdering George Floyd, I think he's going to create riots in the streets. That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to create massive riots if he does that. Right. My grandson CJ just said staying alive and dancing. And then Russian Plant says Trump is supported by AIPAC, who are anti-Saudi. Interesting. I don't know everything. I only know that if we allow Trump to be the dictator of who gets deported and who doesn't, if we allow Trump to create 20 new prisons, 18 new supermax prisons, and hire 30,000 new cops, then we're in big trouble. I mean, I hope he doesn't. Trump brought back TikTok. He's not all that bad. Well, just so you know, on the right, people are really upset. So then Orange Man One Hit said, Trump's the best president ever. People just need to live better lives and avoid trouble, and you'll not be dealing with the cops. Can someone correct him? So Ed Kreider believes that Trump will fight the deep state and not fall in line with it. Let me find your comment so I can put it up on the screen. Thanks, Abo, for the super chats, man. Really appreciate it. So it says Trump will fight the deep state and not fall in line with it. Ed and I are friends. I really hope that's true, Ed. I really hope that's true. Listen, I want to give Trump a chance. I'm all for giving Trump a chance. 100%. I'm for giving the man a chance. If he creates 18 new supermax prisons and hires 30,000 new cops, how do we say that that's a good thing? I don't see how we agree that that's a good thing. We, the people, like whoever brings peace to the world. Our current government doesn't, by the way. Now, that's where I agree. But if you watch Brian from Here's the Deal, he did a full video breakdown where Obama dropped 39 bombs a day over his 8-year administration. Trump, he over his administration, he dropped 98 bombs a day every single day. So he dropped more bombs than Obama. It ends up being 49 to 39 if you go per capita. If you go statistically, that Trump dropped more bombs than Obama. And for my Saudi Arabian friend, he's mostly dropping bombs in the Middle East. I mean, we're dropping bombs everywhere. Does anybody know how we can find out? Does anybody know where we can find out who's delusional? FNN, Founding Father News. Am I delusional? Am I delusional? Because I think that we're on the same team. But these politics are meant to divide. That's why I keep saying out loud, Trump supporters are welcome. I don't like anybody who says he's going to hire 30,000 new cops. I don't like anybody who says he's going to hire 30,000 new cops. That's what I'm saying. And then Douglas Howard replies, Trump jumped in bed with the deep state, gave the Federal Reserve $5 trillion bailout, pretending it was COVID support money. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm all for energy independence. I'm for drilling. I want to open up more places in Alaska where I'm from to drill oil. So the liberals and the climate protecting people won't have me. They won't support me. They don't want me on their team at all. And Mark G., who is a Trump supporter, he says he doesn't like 30,000 new cops either. Remember, it's the application of these things against you and I that matter the most. And he's gonna really decimate our country. Ghost Project. It's a great big club, and we ain't in it. Founding Newsfather, you're pretty diehard member of Team DLZ. I don't think I'm delusional at all, man. I think I'm just being a realist when it comes to hiring 30,000 new cops and what happens after all those bad illegal immigrants are gone. After all the bad illegal immigrants, which, by the way, Founding Father News, do you think that illegal immigrants are the reason why we have a drug problem in America? Because that's what Trump is saying. And then Mountain Mover says, where'd we get Alaska from? The Alaska deal was solidified finally by Andrew Johnson, who became president after Abraham Lincoln. And it was created by Fred Seward. He made the deal with the Russians where we bought Alaska for 2 cents an acre. And we got one hell of a good deal because Alaska has... Oh, I hope not, Laura. I hope not. But that's where we get Alaska from. Oh, not you. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I thought you were... Because, I mean... Founding Father News is diehard Team DLZ. I hope that politics didn't create a wedge between us. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Good friend and a good big supporter. Drops tons and tons of comments. Likes every video. Participates. He's a great person. You know. So then Bob said, Donald Trump, all presidents are fake. AIPAC is Israel. I was finally waiting for someone to say it, and Proxima said it. Audit the Federal Reserve. That's the biggest problem we have. Audit the Fed.
America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it.
As we should. I'm all for it. But do you guys know how immigrants are created? The way immigrants are created is through wars. And Ronaldo here said, Chile, it's simple. If you don't want illegal immigrants, then stop invading and taking our resources. Oh, you're not from America? Our resources and making our people want to immigrate. It's that simple. I totally agree with you. Thanks, Founding Father News. I totally agree with you. I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. I hope, Ed Kreider, I hope that Trump fights the deep state. There it is, Joseph Barbini. There it is. There it is. Bring back Dr. Ron Paul. There it is right there. There it is. And listen, do me a favor. Do me a favor. If you could please remember, we all have different perspectives. The world is not black and white. The world is shades and tints of gray. Don't let them divide us. Our battle is truly with the police state, prison state, death state. To me, in my little humble opinion over here, from my view over here from the peanut gallery, I believe that this guy is going to greatly enhance the police state, prison state, death state. That's what I think. I think he's going to remove the federal decree where we have federal from the Justice Department within each and every police department in America. He's going to remove the federal decree. Oh, Lawyer Talk says he doesn't look different than he used to. Honestly, I think he uses a double. He might. You guys are battling. You guys try not to battle each other. And then United States said Trump is the deep state. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. In the profit for courts. I totally agree. There's so many good people in the chat. And remember what holy crap, I can't believe I heard you say draining the swamp. He's not draining the swamp. He is not draining the swamp. Not at all whatsoever. Not at all whatsoever. It's just insane.
We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet.
We already are the richest nation in the world by far. We are the number one consumer of all products in the globe. From food to gadgets to dolls to computers to glasses, we are the richest country in the world. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he was saying something about something, and I said, so just think how lucky you are to be an American. There's 314 million Americans, and there's like something like 7.4, 7.6 billion people in the world. So that means you have a 1 in 25 chance of being an American. And you are the most fortunate because we're in a country where we can change things here. I can become governor, and I can change the policies, procedures of the cops from the top down. You can't do that in a lot of other countries. My friend from Saudi Arabia is in here. Can a commoner like myself rise up in Saudi Arabia and become the leader? I don't know if that is true. I don't know if that can be done. You know, CDB Jab. Keep up the great work, my friend. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And remember, all my Trump supporting friends, you're more than welcome here. My brothers and sisters in real life, my actual brothers and sisters, not all of them voted for Trump. One of my sisters did not vote for Trump. I think the other one is a Trump supporter. My brother is a Trump supporter. Yeah, I have uncles who are Trump supporters. So, you know, there's just no way that I'm against you if you support Trump. 6 out of 10 people in this country voted for Trump. I'm not against 6 out of 10 people. So Wicked said that Saudi has a royal family, I believe. I don't know but here in the United States, a commoner like myself, I'm just a regular peon like everybody else. I can rise up and become governor and change things from the top down. And that's, oh, I know it. So all right, Mountain Mover. Okay. Oh God, it's gonna hurt me to say this. Oh, it's gonna hurt me to say this. Mountain Mover, you put me in a real position here. If you put a gun to my head and said, you have to vote for one or the other, Kamala versus Trump, I think I'd tell the hostage, I think I'd tell the kidnapper to pull the trigger because I don't want to vote for either one of them. But if I had to vote for Kamala or Trump, I'll put it like this. I would not vote for Kamala. I could not vote for Kamala. I could not do it. I couldn't do it. There'd be no way I could vote for her. She's And look at the support from my friends in the crowd. You know, that's just incredible. Ed Kreider, thanks a lot, man. Ed's a friend of mine. I really like Ed a lot. We've had some long talks. Really appreciate you, Ed. If I had to vote for, yeah, there it is. We will be getting more warp speed from the daddy of the jab. Thanks, Ed Kreider. I appreciate it. I will be governor, and I will change the policies, procedures of policing from the top down because I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to stop. I know Danelle Brown said no camel, no camel toe. I could. The Joker said no women in combat, no woman for president running the military. Because when you vote for the president, you're voting for the commander in chief, meaning you're voting for the head of the military to be the commander in chief. And so let me ask you guys a question. And I want to preface it with this, okay? Let me ask you a question. So did Trump get cheated in 2020 like he says? Did he get cheated in 2020? I'm just wondering. Did he get cheated in 2020? Because here's what happened. When he ran against Hillary, he won, but there was 15 million less votes for Hillary. Then when Joe Biden ran, he got 15 million more votes than Hillary. And then when Kamala ran, she got 15 million less votes than Joe Biden. So it's one of two things here from my perspective over here. Number one, either 15 million less Democrats are willing to vote for a woman, or number two, Trump got cheated in 2020. Which is it? I'm just trying to figure out which it is. I mean, yeah, but if we're talking about Survive 2025, so which is it though? It has to be one or the other. Either Trump got cheated in 2020 or 15 million less Democrats wanted to vote for a woman. That's what I'm saying. Oh, is that right? Laura, I actually am with you on that. I want to like Tulsi Gabbard, but she seems like a washed out woman. There's no woman left in there. I'm not going to say that, but yeah, I'm not going to say that. Oh, there's Abo. He's back, and he said, governors' positions are reserved for royal family only in Saudi Arabia. We're fine with it. We see democracy application in the world, and it's not working, to be honest. Wow. I mean, the guy's donated $200, 200 plus bucks in the chat so far. Almost $300 he's donated. So, and he's saying that you only can be governor in Saudi Arabia if you're a royal family. And then he says that we're seeing the application of a Republican democracy, and it's not working. I mean, our country is in. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think our country is in disarray? Do you think our country's in shambles? I'm just checking. And then Lawyer Dog says Saudi prince in the chat. I don't think he's a Saudi prince. I think he's just a Saudi Arabian dude. He's just a Saudi Arabian. You want to? I mean, we are one of the richest countries in the world. Saudi Arabia is richer. They have more money than we do, as far as like individual people. You know, it's no Saudi money is it's about 413. Oh wow. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. And then Darren Lance says, we are a failed state. And that's where I'm at. You know, the gentleman from Saudi Arabia, I'm not sure I pronounced his name properly, Abo, he's saying that he's seeing the application of democracy and it's failing. Who disagrees with him? Who says that he's wrong? Who's going to say that he's wrong? Is it working? I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. Survive 2025 is saying Trump can't fix this. So April Rain says that Trump got cheated in 2020. And then the people of America are broke as a joke. Oh yeah, Sacramento Lenny. So by the way, let me just make this announcement real quick. I want somebody to become an administrator for Delete Law's Tri-State Cop videos. We have 934 members, but I started that page 3 years ago and I've never been the admin of it. If there's any Facebook people who are super good at Facebook, I need an administrator or two for Tri-State Cop videos. I want to open it up to public. and let people go in there and let people look at all the videos that we posted in there. Rat Boy Ninja said it's an ongoing experiment. Super interesting. Super interesting. And what did Elon Musk say? Elon definitely will become the world's first trillionaire. Whoa, that's crazy.
That will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate.
I'm totally against the Green New Deal. So people calling me a liberal communist, I'm definitely against the Green New Deal.
Saving our auto.
Not all part of it, not all parts of it, but a lot of the Green New Deal is bullshit.
That will help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
I'm down for that. And Trump had a great point. Why are we manufacturing cars in Canada? Why are we allowing GM, Ford, Chevy, BMW, Mercedes? Why are we allowing them to manufacture their cars in Canada, and then you and I pay a premium for the cars as Canada gets the economic boom of the plants being there and their people get employment? Why are we allowing that to happen? So you see, for the people who support Trump, I don't hate all of his ideas. I don't want a police state, prison state, death state. And then Derek Hates Pigs is going to say that Trump is not going to fix anything. He's literally going to destroy any sense of democracy we ever had. Oh, Isabel's back. I'm not sure about most of this stuff. At least that's fair, and at least that's honest. Biden 1 is rigged 1,000%, says Abu. Cool. I got your name pronounced. Someone put it up there for me. I appreciate it. And then Elon can make more fake spaces. And take a look. I'm American through and through. I love this country. I'm a patriot. But look at Abu. In Saudi Arabia, there's so much less poverty. There's so many less people sleeping on the streets. There's so much less crime and trash over there. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out the simple fact. Jungle is massive. Good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys. I'm not putting that up on the screen. That's a funny comment, but I'm not putting it up.
In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote.
I'm down with what King Braveheart said. If you're an illegal immigrant or undocumented migrant here in this country, leave now before they put you in prison. These guys are fucking nuts, man. And that will diminish the prison state that Trump is going to create if the people who are here illegally self-deport. And then let us find out how the dairy industry, how the price of milk goes to $20 a gallon. Let us find out in the fruit industry how oranges cost $10 for an orange. Let us find out in the pork industry when a pack of bacon is $15. If the illegal or undocumented migrants leave here, you're going to see the price of food shoot up astronomically. A gallon of milk is going to be $15 because they'll have to pay people fairly. And they don't pay the undocumented migrants fairly. Jungle is massive, showing support, giving out 5 memberships. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then Mountain Mover said, Zoom hearings whole. We all love YouTube and is partnered with the government agencies. It wasn't just Zuckerberg. Oh, yeah. Take a look at the numbers. We got 400 people here across the channels, but on the main channel here where we have 630,000 subscribers, we got 265 people. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. What happened to Robot? Robot was making all those comments that were crazy. Where are they at? I like those crazy comments. I don't agree with your crazy comments, but I found them entertaining.
I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Do you think that's going to work? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's not going to work. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it is going to work. Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's not going to work. Put a 2 in the chat if it is going to work. Maddie, you think I'm insane? I hope not. I support you, and I got nothing but love and respect for you. I hope you don't think that I'm insane. I'm not insane. I don't think the Green New Deal is going to work, and I think it's a mess. And I think that. Are you talking to someone else? I mean, you guys think that? I'm just confused. So put a 1 in the chat if you think tariffs are not going to work. Put a 2 in the chat if you think they are going to work. So put a 1 if you think tariffs will work. Put a 2 if you think they won't. So Jennifer Hill said they're not going to work. I'm just confused. 1 in the chat if you think tariffs are going to work. 2 in the chat if they're not going to work. So it's kind of a mixed crowd. It's kind of a mixed bag. I'm seeing more 1s than 2s, but I'm seeing a lot of 2s. Remember, there's 6 channels. You may not be able to see all the comments on here, but it's mostly 1s that think they're not going to work, but there's a good portion in here that think they are going to work. I mean, Taxi Slut thinks they're going to work. I'm going to put them up there in case they're on other channels and you can't see them. Swamp Lover thinks they're going to work. United States thinks they're going to work. Cheryl thinks they're going to work. Dan Hanlon thinks they're going to work. Abu thinks they're not going to work. He don't think tariffs are going to work. He doesn't think that charging tariffs is going to work. Wild Boy thinks they're not going to work. BZ Watchdog thinks that tariffs are going to work. Jeff thinks that tariffs are not going to work. Danelle Brown thinks they're going to work. Wow, it's really interesting. And then Russian Plant says tariffs only hurt normal citizens. That's crazy. Cheryl thinks they're going to work. And then Mountain Mover, who I think, Mountain, you are a Trump supporter, right? Or you support Trump more than Kamala? I guess that's the best way to put it. I guess that's the best way to question. And someone, it worked before. And then Abu said, you switched. So Abu, you think it is? 1 means they're not going to work. 2 means they are. 1 means they're not. 2 means they are, Abu. So I want to see. I'm not going to put that comment up on the screen. I can't do that. Some of your comments are funny. Radek with 5 new memberships. Thanks, Radek. I appreciate the support, man. And Radek's a big supporter, man. He donates money to me, supports me 100%. Jungle is massive. Jungle's got my trifold, my poster, my cop cards. He's got a hoodie. Radek, he's got a hoodie. Like, he's a big time supporter. I really appreciate you guys' support. Jungle is massive. Gave another 5 memberships. Holy smokes. You guys are, wow. Lots of members of Team DLZ. Historically indifferent. And then BZ said tariffs don't work. Not going to work. Oh, did I fuck it up? I'm so sorry. Did I confuse you guys? Did I mess it up? I think I messed it up. Abu said I screwed it up too. Tariffs do not work. Okay. So you guys can just put that. I think that's why it's such a mixed bag, because I screwed it up. Oh, no, now you changed it. 1 is it will work. 2, it will not work. Do you guys mind if I do it again? Okay. So let's do it again. I'm going to ignore the previous vote. Let's do it again. We're going to go with Bruce's right here. 1, the tariffs are going to work. It's going to enrich Americans. 2, the tariffs are not going to work. Okay, so just let's do it like that. You guys see it on the screen right there. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce is like Team DLZ. He's been here for almost 4 years. So 1 is they will work. 2 is they will not work. 1 is the tariffs are going to work. It's going to work great, where it's going to enrich Americans. 2 is that they are not going to work. It's not going to enrich Americans. It's not going to work at all whatsoever. Okay, so now I'm getting more 2s than 1s. Odin, don't mess with me like that, brother. So 1 is it's going to work. And so far of the 1s, I'm going to put the 1s on the screen. What's up, Mr. Smith? How are you? Hey, Mr. Smith, did you get my link so you can send me that video? So, yeah, that's super interesting. That is super interesting. Oh, so you see it in your industry? Super interesting. I'm just reading that 1, 1, 2, 2. Wow. That is, I mean, Okay, Kevin, I'm trying to find Bruce's comment again so I can put it up on the screen. 1 is going to work, 2 is not going to work. Wow. I mean, look at the numbers, y'all. Look at I mean, this is just what we think. This is just what we think. So a lot of people think it's not going to work. And then, so of the people who are Trump supporters, one said that, and then Bill Robard said it's going to work short term. Interesting.
For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
I like the government of efficiency, that's for sure. If Trump tries to annex Canada, which I think was just a lot of bluster, we will become an extraordinarily liberal country. So just remember that for all the people who think we're going to annex Canada, we will become an extraordinarily liberal country. They're mostly liberal up there. And they have much, much more respect for Native Canadians, people who were indigenous to Canada. They have a lot more respect for the indigenous people of Canada than we do the indigenous people of America.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Do you think that's true? Do you think that's true? Do you think he's gonna get rid of censorship? Do you think that YouTube is going to stop censoring my videos? If I could show you how many of my videos are demonetized, you would be absolutely blown away. I don't know. Let's listen to this again. And let's do this. 1 ends censorship. 2, not possible to end censorship. Okay, let's see what that is. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he ends censorship. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's not possible to end censorship. I just want to know. King Braveheart said no free speech. I'm 56. Oh, that's not the right one. Sorry about that. Nice to see you, Ardo. Nice to see you. I'm just wondering. 1 in the chat if you think that. 1 if you think he ends censorship. 2 if you think it's not possible. Cope Dogged Dog, what's going on? I think it's a 2. I don't think it's possible to get YouTube to end their censorship program. I mean, I really hope it works. This is where I'm on the side of Trump. I'm not against the idea of ending censorship. I'm not at all against ending censorship. I'm 100% pro ending censorship. King Braveheart keeps putting end of free speech. I'm just keeping this up here so you guys know how to vote. And then someone just said, now he will only end censorship that he approves of, says the Joker. And then Jude Duval said, how can Trump remove government censorship when he promises to pass a law to kick out anyone who criticizes Israel? That's crazy. Jude Duval put that, and he put a $5 super chat on it. How can Trump remove government censorship when he promises to pass a law to kick out anybody who criticizes Israel? That is a very fair question. Milena says 1, he's a victim. He won't allow free speech has always been an illusion anyway, says Bob Foltz. He wants to jail people for flag burning. I think you should be able to burn the flag. I'm all for it. I've got Old Glory right over here, but I just he won't end censorship. He won't end censorship. He'll send you more a year for he'll send you to jail for more than a year for flag burning. If censorship gets stopped, then ad revenue will drop for everybody that ever does anything online. Interesting. Interesting. 3, he adds more censorship, says Mad Hatter Matt. Matt, you changed your did you change your icon? That's cool, dude. Looks good.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
But how can he do that when he wants to ban flag burning and has said that he wants to get around the fact that the Supreme Court says in the 1980 case of Johnson versus Texas, I believe is it 1980 or 1981 Johnson versus Texas? Can someone correct my year? I don't think I have the right year. I think it's the 1981 case of Johnson versus Texas. I don't fool myself. I'm not fooling. Chili, you fool yourself if you think tariffs will make us better. I never said that. I just took a poll. I never said that. I never said that. Claudette said he's all talk is all. So he said he's going to end all government censorship. But is it 1980 or 81 Johnson versus Texas?
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
You see, Maddie, you and I are so much more aligned than we are different. That's where Maddie is so spot on. And if you guys don't know, Maddie is a diehard member of Team DLZ. He can't stand the police state, prison state. He can't stand it. We completely align in so many ways. And now, once again, we had a couple differences earlier, and then Maddie chimes in with, when has there ever been a president that does anything they say they will? That's Maddie, you're so spot on, dude.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about.
Well, what about the police prosecuting people? And King Braveheart says, bullshit.
We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities.
Now, here comes the cop sucking part. Here comes the cop sucking part.
I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Shit, I'm so sorry. It wasn't 80 or 81. It was 1989 case of Texas versus Johnson that protected flag burning as symbolic. I agree with you there, Brent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bruce.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
You know, and this is where I may lose some of my own crowd here, but I fully support trans persons 100%. I don't support that you can say you're a man if you're born a biological woman. I don't support that you can say you're a woman if you're born a biological man. That's what I don't support. But I fully support trans people. I do believe that they literally believe, and they may have been born in the wrong body, but I don't think society is ready to accept it and say that you are a man because you say you are. But I fully and completely support trans persons. And I call them her if it's a dude dressed up in a dress, and I call it him if it's a female dressed up and looks like a man or dressed up like a man. I just don't have it in me to be horrible to people who are already uh, suffering. And I don't think that bashing trans people is our biggest problem. I think allowing men who are born biological men to go in women's bathrooms, I think that's a problem. I think that allowing men who are born biologically men who are trans women and believe they are women, I think there's a problem allowing trans women to compete in women's sports. That's where I have the problems. But I have nothing against people who are trans persons at all whatsoever. I just don't. I just don't. Oh, and then Abu put a breakdown. So Abu said $1 is 3.75, which is the currency I super chat with. So Abu's put in about $100 of American, maybe a little more. Thanks, Abu, for your super chats. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for super chatting $1. Thank you for super chatting 50 cents. Thank you for super chatting at all whatsoever. Thank you for buying my products. It supports me. I'm a capitalist. Thank you so much for supporting what I'm doing. I appreciate you. You know, someone super chats $1. Thank you so much. You put $1 towards me, saying you believe in my mission, you believe in me, you support me to keep going. So it doesn't matter what the conversion rate is. Jude says, Chile, real question should be asked. Does Trump even know what freedom of speech even means? Also, Chile, sex does not equal gender. You know, and then I'll give the opposite position of my position. I don't like trans in short. That's all. You're welcome to do that. You're welcome to not like those, to not like trans people. You know, they should stay away from kids as well. Abu, here's the thing. I know a trans person who is a father, and that trans person is one of the best fathers I've ever seen. So it's tough. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should be competing in sports as the gender that you chose. That's where my line in the sand is. You know what I mean? Where it's just eat my shorts, copper, eat my shorts. You know, it's just Gloria said something here. Gloria said something. I wanted to get it. Don't even get me started on creating a third restroom. It's all propaganda for the campaign. Hey, and listen, I really appreciate you guys' input, because in the mission to overturn Terry versus Ohio, you can't. What do you want to see me do next? You've never heard me say that. In the mission to overturn Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, I want you to participate. I need your help. You're not going to change my perspective or what I think, what I believe has to happen.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Yes. Yes. I'm for that. Yes. Give them back their money. Give them back their position in the service. I'm all for that.
And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
Then don't have our soldiers be prison guards. That's not why they signed up to protect America. That's not why they signed up to. And Bobby, your comment is absolutely hilarious. Bobby Foltz, your comment is so funny. I can't put it on the screen, obviously. Oh yeah, I agree with that too. I'm not for hammering. I think we should protect children, and I'm with you there too, Bear Wolf. So I mean, I think so far we're seeing that if you're truly a liberal, and the liberal sense of what liberals is today, they won't have me. If you're truly a conservative, you won't have me on your side either. So I'm kind of like, you know, I, you know, yeah. I mean, I agree on this too, you know? So we only got 10 minutes of this left.
Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
Right. And don't make soldiers prison guards. I'll read your super chat in a second. Interesting, Jude. Jude said that gender is a pseudoscience and there's not 4, 2, or 0 gender. Gender is a pseudoscience that was invented a few decades ago. Mm-hmm. And then Daryl said he'd rather see me go for senator. I will run for power. I got a couple steps I got to do here, but I will get into power and change the policies of the police from the top down. Remember, our policy is it's a felony stop. The person in power can say there's no such thing as a felony stop unless that person has someone kidnapped or they're an active shooter.
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
And I'm down for that. I'm down for no wars. Thank God you did that, Bobby. Such a weird camera angle, how they take the handheld camera to show, like, it's so weird.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
I don't think he's going to be able to unify people unless he actually follows through on ending censorship, unless he actually follows through on being able to lower the price of goods without being a Marxist government, without making sure that we don't go to wars, without making sure that we don't create 18 new supermax prisons. You're not going to unify people when our brothers and sisters and fathers and uncles are in jail.
I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
I'm happy about that too. Thanks for the super chat, April Rain. And listen, let me just say something. I know there's a great big war going on about Israel or Palestine, but let me tell you something. The Palestinian people should not be held hostage, and the Jewish people in Israel should not be held as hostages. And I'm for freeing all those hostages. I'm for freeing all hostages. Good people who are regular citizens should not be hostages. Looks like you're making a trip to the bank. Thanks, April, for the super sticker. Man, you guys are the most supportive group of people ever. When we're not doing fundraisers for other people, you guys turn and start donating money to me, and I'm grateful because I'm doing projects right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Jake Duval said, if we're talking about bigotry, there are two sexes. If you discount intersex people that are born with both parts, but very rare. I agree with that. I agree with that. Chili, it's time for me to fly. Freedom! Freedom! You guys don't fight each other. Don't fight each other. We're on the same side. We really, really are on this. Radek, thanks for the super chat, man. I'm just seeing it right here. Let me play a couple more of this. I'll put it up on the screen.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
I think The whole world calls it the Gulf of Mexico. It was originally Mexican country. I'm reading your comments. Feel free to chime in. Let me get the exact information here. I believe it's December 29th. It was okay. I get a little dyslexia in my head, so my brain was saying 1854, but it's actually 1845, and I knew that was wrong. I knew I was messing it up. But Texas didn't become a state until 1845, and we're at 21 minutes and 54 seconds on this. But Texas became a state December 29th, 1845. So it was the Gulf of Mexico. And to try to say that it's not, do I agree with Mount McKinley being Mount McKinley? I'm from Alaska. It was always called Mount McKinley. But yeah, he wants to rename the mountains in Alaska. So it was always Mount McKinley where I'm from. Let me see something here real quick. This was my view my whole life. This is what I saw my whole life. When I grew up, this is what I saw. I saw this right here. And it was called Mount McKinley. So for me, it's really weird that it's called something else. In 1896, a gold prospector named it Mount McKinley in support of then presidential candidate William McKinley, who later became the 25th president. Why did they change Mount McKinley to Denali? The Koyukon are a people of Alaskan Athabascans, also known as Dina, who settled in the interior area north of the mountains. In 1975, the state of Alaska requested that the mountain be officially recognized as Denali. We also call it Denali. That's weird. I didn't know this, so I'm learning as we go here. As it was still the common name used in the state and traditional among Alaskan Native people. We called it Denali, but it was also called, so there it is, Denali Mount McKinley. I was raised on the Kenai Peninsula in a tiny little town. Yes, we call it Denali. We also call it Mount McKinley. We call it both. And you can see here that I'm telling you the truth. Like, I was raised there. I know what we called it. I was raised in Soldotna, Alaska my whole life from the time I was 5 years old. So it was called Denali or Mount McKinley. I don't really have a problem with Denali or Mount McKinley. I have a problem with changing the Gulf of Mexico. I just think that it's like I don't know. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's going to make America great again by changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of
many
America.
From prisons and mental institutions, money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. It's going to end immediately. I want to be a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
Bring people home. Both the hostages from Palestine and the hostages from Israel. 100%. Bring those people home. I'm all for that.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth.
We already are the most powerful nation on earth, and we bully so many countries. It's really sad what our government does to people, just like what the Israeli government does to the Palestinian people. I'm certainly not against Jewish people, but I'm against what the Israeli government has done.
Inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be. McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal.
Okay, so the reason we're watching this, Alien Factor Media, I appreciate you, man. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Kamala supporter. We're watching this so that we have a record of what he said. If you take a look at my community posts, I've done 2 posts the last 2 days regarding Trump because we want to keep track of where we start and where we end. The things that he says out loud, and this is coming up on 2.5 hours here, but I just want to make sure that we have a record of what he said he was going to do. He was supposed to pardon Ross Ulbright today. So let's see if he's going to pardon him, because Ross Ulbright does not belong in a jail cell. He's been in a prison cell for a decade.
Which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made. And Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form. And that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
So let me speak on this real quick, because as you guys know, my father, I am Colombian. Even though I was born here in the United States, my father is pure Colombian. My mom is pure Irish German, German Irish. Let me explain something here. Panama would not be a country today without the creation of the Panama Canal, that was actually not led by McKinley, but by Teddy Roosevelt. And Teddy Roosevelt, what he did is he ensured Panama independence in 1903. I believe it's 1903. So is it 1904? So let me explain it to you. So William McKinley is shot and killed in 1901. And after William McKinley is shot and killed in 1901, they had plucked Teddy Roosevelt from being the president of the police bureau in New York. I'm sorry, I have to think, and I'm not. Let me just remember here. So then when McKinley had laid plans to start the Panama Canal, Teddy Roosevelt actually put it into application by recognizing the sovereignty of the new country called Panama that was absolutely stolen from Colombia. You had Panamanian rebels who were freedom fighters for Panama who broke free. Panama is Colombia. It should be Colombia to this day. It was completely and utterly stolen by McKinley's plans, and Roosevelt then paying the Panama rebels, the freedom fighters for Panama. He gave them, we gave Panama $10 million or $20 million in 19, can you guys tell me, is it 1903? I think it's 1903. I'm pretty sure. But this is what happened. And Panama was not a country until Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, who's clearly one of the best presidents in U.S. history from what he did. And we can go into that in Constitutional Law Scholar. But the reason why there's a country called Panama is so that we could control the Panama Canal. That's that's the plain, simple truth. That's the plain, simple truth. And I can prove it, but I want to get through this video. I'm going to teach this in Constitutional Law Scholar, but Panama should not be Panama. It was Colombia. It was my forefathers' right, and it was stolen by the American government so that we could control the Panama Canal. We literally paid off those people, the Panamanian rebels, to break off and create another country so that we could control the Panama Canal. And now Trump is mad that we're no longer controlling the Panama Canal. It's the same thing with Cuba, by the way. Cuba should have been annexed. It should be part of America. But this is stuff in Constitutional Law Scholar that I'm going to teach. Oh, wow, Bobby, I didn't know that.
Above all,
Interesting.
my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises
Whoa.
our expectations.
Whoa, he just slipped that in there. That's why I've listened to this twice. This is the third time today that I've listened to this. I was going to do a live stream at 11. I had to kick it back to 12:30 because I had to listen to this again to catch the little pieces that you might have missed. And let me show you another one. Listen carefully.
Again, consider itself a growing nation, free chronic disease epidemic. We will not
Okay, so he puts this all together, but listen carefully.
lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic
Robert Kennedy Jr.
and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free.
I'm all for Robert Kennedy Jr. The FDA has been bought off and it's not working. Our country's so morbidly obese because of the chemicals in our foods.
The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation.
A growing nation. Whoa, 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 whoa. What does that mean? Whoa, 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 whoa.
One that increases our wealth, expands our territory.
Expands our territory? Expands our territory? Oh, is that right? The truth? Okay, cool. Let's find out. Expands our territory? What does that mean exactly? Lawyer dog, what does that mean? Expands our territory. What does that mean exactly? What does that mean? Expands our territory. I'm so confused by that.
Builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
I love our country. I'm a patriot. I'm 100% for American leadership, for American. I'm all for America. Okay, don't in any way, shape, or form think that I'm against America. I absolutely am not. If you want a liberal America, then make Canada a 51st state. I don't think that we have the right to claim another planet. Do you? Do you? Do, well, the truth is sweet. It's been pretty shitty. We got red dye number 3 just banned, got yellow dye number 4. You have all these chemicals in our food that are banned in most other countries. So we haven't been doing it good otherwise. You think we should, let me put it like this. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that, yes, we should be able to claim another planet. Put a 2 in the chat if we should not be able to claim another planet. 1 in the chat if you think we should claim a planet. 2 in the chat if you think we should not be able to claim a planet. I mean, should we be able to claim a planet and say that this planet is ours? I mean, come on. Come on, man. Come on. It's mostly 2s. It's mostly 2s. Most people don't think we should be able to claim a planet. Died once already. He's like, yeah, we own Mars. It's like, it's just King Braveheart is stuck on this Italian thing. I've heard King Braveheart mention this Italian things 20 times. That's cool. You can be stuck on it, but I don't think we should be able to claim another planet. The Joker said he already claimed it. Mars belongs to him. Is that true? Oh, there's Elon. Look at Barron. Barron's become a young man here, huh? Good for you, Barron. I hope you grow up strong and proud, man. I see nothing wrong with you, dude. I'm not going to bash this kid because he's Trump's son. He's done nothing wrong to anybody. He's just a young man growing up in the spotlight. But Barron Trump has done nothing wrong. I hear people talk about Barron all the time and say what, this or that, and it's like, you're talking about a kid, man. He's a teenager.
Ambition is the lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
Well, hold on. To a point. Listen, do I think Americans are the best? I do. I think that the innovation of Americans and how we don't say die, we never give up, we don't stop. I think that we're an amazing group of people. Do I think we landed on the moon? Do I think the government created a great big lie? I mean, is that right? Barron Trump is 6'9". I didn't know. Damn, he's a big kid. I mean, how many people think we landed on the moon? Yes or no? Yes, we landed on the moon. No, we did not. How many people think we landed on the moon? Yes or no? Yes, we landed on the moon. No, we did not. Just yes or no. So that way I can take away the numbers. It's so much easier. Bob thinks we did. I mean, how many people think we landed on the moon? So far, we got Bob Foltz. Oh, no, Bob says no, we did not. Blop says no. Radek, a.k.a. Ski, says no. There's a Hollywood video of us on the moon, says Levi. How many of you guys think we landed on the moon? I don't know what that means, Diablo. Is that Tess? Is that yes? Alien Factor Media says aliens live on the moon. Jeff says he's not really sure. Diablo thinks we did. It's a no for me. Not a chance. Not a chance. Beowulf says he wants to say yes, but no. Not a chance. Interesting. Nope, says Intermediate Cat. Interdimensional Cat says nope. Maddie says he's from the moon. I don't think so. I wish it was true. I don't think so.
I stand before you now as
according to a Google search, Barron Trump is 6'7", according to Google.
Proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before.
Who's going to win? I mean, who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's talking about? You think the American people are going to win, or do you think the top 1% are going to win?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable.
Whoa. Once again, remember I said I'm going to slow it down and let you listen to it, and I want you to reconsider what you're hearing and question some things. Listen to this.
Our power will stop all wars.
We are the warmongers of the world. We invade countries. We are the warmongers. If you don't believe that, follow Iraq Veteran on X.
And bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable.
We are the angry, violent country that's unpredictable. Most countries don't know when we're going to attack them. It's Jeff Millman, thank you, bro.
America will be respected again and admired again.
No, we're feared. We're feared. And then what we do is we add fear with humanitarianism. But then when we go and do a humanitarian mission, you know what we do? We put spies in their countries. We do coups. We overthrow governments. Our government is horrible.
Including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous.
There's only 1 minute left in this.
We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken. And we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation.
We already are.
We will stand bravely. We will live proudly.
Oh, he's talking about the UN.
We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So let me just show you something. When did Panama gain independence? I was right. It was 1903 because I studied Teddy Roosevelt because Plead the Fifth sent me so many books in jail. I really got a deep dive into Teddy Roosevelt. I read 3 different books that he was the main feature on in jail. And so I know, I mean, I only know what I read here, right? I'm autodidactic. I constantly read and learn new stuff. Why did Panama separate from Colombia? Another Panamanian political named Jose Agustin Arango began to plan the revolution and separation. The separatists, they weren't called Panamanian freedom fighters. The separatists wanted to negotiate the construction of the Panama Canal directly to the United States due to the negativity of the Colombian government. So in other words, Panama became a country because they wanted to, the people there, remember, they formed a little tiny government and they said, we're Panama now. And then the United States government, how much was it, 10 million or 20 million? How much money did TR give to Panama when it became a free country? 10 million. I'm so sorry. When Panama declared independence, President Theodore Roosevelt administration, through Hey Buena Varela Treaty, paid Panama $10 million to secure the land needed to build the Panama Canal, essentially guaranteeing Panama's independence in exchange for the canal zone access. Key points: payment of $10 million, the treaty named Ay Buena Varela, reason for payment to secure the land for building the Panama Canal. So do you guys understand? Do you guys understand? Hey, Survive, man. You're welcome to come in and say whatever you want. It's not on topic right now. You're trolling a little bit, but let's see. Do you guys think I'm serious about overturning Terry versus Ohio? Do you think that we're going to overturn Terry versus Ohio? Because I can show you on Constitutional Law Scholar that Supreme Court cases get turned over on average every 60 to 100 years. We're at 59 years with Terry versus Ohio. So I 100% believe that we will successfully overturn Terry versus Ohio in our lifetimes. I 100% believe it. 100%. He's definitely trying. OTVO, yes. 100% survive. 100%. This is our mission, and we don't stop. We absolutely don't stop. Thank you to the people over on teamdlz.com for supporting me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting me. I have taken every single dime that the people on Team DLZ, by being members over there, have put into that paywall website, and I have put it into the new board game, Constitutional Law Scholar. I believe when we affect millions and millions of people, young people, old people, people who want to learn the history of the United States, constitutional history, Supreme Court case law, the Supreme Court justices, the presidents, the vice presidents, the states, I think that the more people that we have who learn, the more people will support me and support the mission of overturning Terry versus Ohio. And every single one of the people who's a member of teamdlz.com, remember, I've got your full name, your credit card information, I have everything. Each and every one of you is a stockholder in this game. Each and every one of you will be handsomely rewarded. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about we will change the fucking world. It starts right here in America with securing our freedom from one cop saying, I'm suspicious of you, so get on your knees, I'm going to torture cuff you, and you're going to enter into a POW style of arrest. And every single person on teamdlz.com who has supported me, you're coming with me. We don't stop. We don't stop under any circumstances, under any conditions. We will overturn Terry versus Ohio. 100%. It will happen in our lifetimes. I have 25 years left. I'm 50. You get about 75. I got 25 years left. I've only become a public figure the last 2 years. We will overturn Terry versus Ohio. I can feel like the passion inside of me starting to rise up. Terry versus Ohio has to go. It has to go. Do you understand that? The reason you're not free in this country is because of Terry versus Ohio. It's not qualified immunity. It's Terry. It's Terry. And it is Terry, and it has been Terry, and it will be Terry until we wipe it down. It is the 2001 case of Atwater versus City of Lago Vista. We will get the Supreme Court where they have to be elected. They will get term limits, and we have to make the power of impeaching Supreme Court justices up to the people by referendum. If you don't uphold our constitutional Bill of Rights, then the people can impeach you. And that's what we have to get to. That's what we have to get to. We don't stop, Brandy. I'm bringing the people with me who are on Team DLZ. I'm bringing Jeff Millman. I'm bringing Raddick. I'm bringing Chevy. I'm bringing Brandy. I'm bringing you guys with me. I'm bringing King Braveheart. I'm bringing Plead the Fifth. I'm bringing Cope Dog. I have such a plan here. Listen, do you think I like sitting here reviewing? No. I can't wait to finish this. I can't wait till we actually are, the real movement begins, where we go into politics, we get into power. Maybe we started as a mayor, maybe we start as a governor, and we get to the point where we change it locally And then that locality change starts to spread into other communities, into other states. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. We will overturn Terry versus Ohio. I will not stop until it's done. And that to me is the reason why I'm here. That to me is the reason that I started to be a public figure. Because just so you guys know, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. I am a social media expert. Since 2014, I've been teaching people how to use social media, how to build a brand. In 2015, I hired 100 social influencers to create a bunch of TV shows, right? I did this. And they asked me, if you have the knowledge to be a social media influencer, why don't you do it? And I said, because being in front of the camera is a lot of pressure. Being the leader of anything is a ton of pressure. And I don't want it, man. I want to be behind the scenes. When I started in 2020, I was looking for a leader who would overturn Terry versus Ohio. I never knew it would come back and it had to be me. And so that's why I'm here. That's the reason why I'm here. Because you can't buy me. You can't bribe me. The torture cuffs have been on these wrists 36 times. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to get me to go, oh, yeah, Terry doesn't have to go. There's nothing. OTBO, put it in the chat. OTBO. Alan Hubbs, you're coming with me. Houston Hot Dog, Milena, you're coming with me. King Braveheart, you're coming with me. If I have to buy an apartment complex where I'm going to run and move a bunch of people to where I'm at and just make enough money to cover the mortgage of the apartment complex, I will bring 1,000 people to one location. We will canvas out. We don't stop. We can't stop. Trump said a bunch of things. Some of those things we agree with, some of those things we don't. Some of those things we hope are true, like ending censorship. Some of those things, like expanding American territories, I'm not interested. I'm interested in liberty and freedom right here. I'm interested in inspiring Lawyer Dog to go back to school, get his degree, get his law degree, and then help me, brother. Help me. Help me. I can't do this alone. Every single person on teamdlz.com, Steve Conkler, thank you. Thank you so much. We don't stop. Milena, we don't stop. Bruce, Greg, we don't stop. We won't stop. Jeff Millman, we won't stop. Chuck P, we will not stop. SWE Observer, Let's OTVO, Brick, we don't stop. Under any circumstances, under any conditions, we don't stop. So you guys are welcome here. Every single one of you is welcome here. Rachel, you're welcome. Gio, you're welcome. Brent, you're welcome. All Trump supporters, you're welcome here. I don't support 30,000 new cops and 18 new Supermax prisons. I don't support that. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give them a chance, Maddie. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give them a chance. I am. So we don't stop. We don't quit. We never give up, Artle. We never give up. All right, I got to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming to and Abu, first time you've been in here. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you guys who super chatted me. Radek, thank you so much for super chatting me. Dakota, thank you so much. Bruce, I'm nothing without you. I am the tip of the spear, but without the weight of the spear when you throw it, the tip of the spear cannot pierce the beast. You are the weight of the spear. Gary Bryant, you are the weight of the spear. Maxim, you are the weight of the spear. Maximus, you are the weight of the spear. We don't stop. April, we are the weight of the spear. Lenny, Jim, there's so many names you guys don't understand. They can shadow ban me. They can cut me down. Right now, there's only 235 people on the main channel, right? They can't stop it. They can't stop what we're going to do, King Charles. They can't stop us. If we don't quit, they can't stop us. Never give up, never surrender, never say die. We don't stop. I'll see you on the next one. Mikey B. Later, Gator.